being devoid of vanity. Vanity makes each of them a vice instead of virtue. The virtuous quality that you have is from your Creator, not from you. Keep that in mind. I narrated this story last time also, and let me repeat it. That Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam, after going through all those trials, everything destroyed, remarked, "O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I obeyed you at all times, and I have always submitted to your will." It is said that a cloud shadowed over his head, and a voice came saying, "Ayyub, how did you get that quality of patience?" Ayyub was a prophet. He picked up a handful of dust, put on his head, on his hair, and said, "Indeed from you, O my Lord, indeed from you." So whatever patience and forbearance you may have, whatever quality that you may have, comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, known as. Keep that in mind. A person who shows vanity forgets that origin. Modesty and humbleness bring about elevation of human consciousness. Vanity brings about a downfall. Humbleness is a virtue that's praised by the Prophet ﷺ, admired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at many times. There is a step ahead of vanity and self-conceit, and that is arrogance. Arrogance derives from vanity, by the way, but it is a step ahead. What's the difference? If a person thinks too much of himself, he is displaying self-conceit or vanity. He thinks too much of himself. I'm great, I did this, I. The more eyes you have there, the more vanity it is. On the other hand, when he considers himself to be superior and others to be inferior, it is arrogance. That's the difference. When you consider yourself great, big, master of this, possessor of that, it's vanity. But when on the other hand, considering yourself to be higher, you start belittling others, considering others to be inferior, that shows arrogance. So that's a step ahead of vanity. It's a vanity where one's own superiority is mixed with the concept of inferiority of others. Is it clear? Vanity, when you consider yourself to be great. Arrogance, when you consider yourself to be great and others to be worthless, inferior. Sometimes it becomes very clear by one's individual action. For example, a person with money and means not sitting with poor and disadvantaged people. Okay. Many times we have our own group. Okay. Those who are resourceful, those who consider themselves very educated, okay, or who are in financial sector making millions. Okay. How would they sit with a $10 an hour laborer like me? So they have their own group. Okay. They say birds of the same feather flock together. Okay. The way you deal with others. Sometimes unresponsive to those whom you consider to be, not your match, so as to say, not at your level. Waiting for others to give way to you. Holding out hands so people would kiss. Too harsh. And and so on. And some people may have that advantage, and they may deserve that, not being universal about it. This vice has ruined many, and it has destroyed many virtues. The very thought that you are superior and the other is inferior is destroying your inner self. How do you know what level other human being is in relationship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Because the real criteria of superiority is nothing but closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How do you know that a man whom you disdain, you dislike, you consider to be worthless, is closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than you? Do you have any criteria? It is said that Allah has told to look for His awliya in the common man, in the common people. They are hidden. They are not known. They are obscure. How do you know your status and his status? This arrogance many times destroys many knowledgeable people also. People with knowledge. Imam Khomeini has referred to it as a thick veil. When he talks about knowledge as a thick veil, that's what he refers to. A thick veil, as a curtain that is opaque, that you cannot see through, which obscures the vision of reality. It hides your own shortcomings and faults and shuts out the light of guidance. It is a seal that's placed on the heart. It slams shut. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to this in the Quran, and He says, thus does Allah seal every proud and arrogant heart. Kul Jabbar, Mutakabbirin Jabbar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says He doesn't love those who are arrogant. Inna Allaha la yuhibbul mutakabbirin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says that those who are arrogant would turn away from my revelations. And He also says that hell in perpetuity is the abode of arrogant persons. The Prophet ﷺ has said that a person who has a particle of pride in his heart would not enter paradise. A particle. Just a particle. In another tradition, the Prophet said, arrogant person invites the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As he said, greatness belongs only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet also said that on the day of judgment, 3 types of people would have a very bad chastisement, worst chastisement, he said there would be an old adulterer, a zani who is very old, in his old age, a proud ruler, an arrogant person. Prophet ﷺ has put these things together. Pride Arrogance.